After S.H.I.E.L.D. let Nick Fury down with Hydra, Nick Fury's like, who can I trust? Extraterrestrial Skrulls. Let's try to keep them safe in the field, and the secret invasion is actually something that we need.
So it's not a Skrull secret invasion. It's actually these mind-wiped characters that we've seen and known from the other timeline now being brought into the MCU timeline.
And Hank Pym is actually also a
Whoa.
Skrull.
Whoa. Wait.
Whoa.
Eric, you okay? Eric. Welcome back to New Rockstars. This is Rogue Theory, and we are talking about how everyone we know and love is secretly a Skrull the whole time.
Trust
Eric,
no one, love no one, associate with no one.
Who are you? You're
Not me.
JOVEN.
I am.
Yeah, welcome back to JOVEN. I'm Filup Molina, but real quick, thank you, Joshua Ovenshire.
Very
for
glad
joining
and
us
happy to be
again.
back here. Thank you. I don't normally get invited back twice to things, so this is an honor.
Yeah, your probationary period is
Lapsed.
lapsed, yeah. And Marina Mastros, who never is on probation. You get away with it every time.
Yeah.
And then Erik Voss, of course.
Skrull Search is back, baby.
Guys, there's a rumor that Marvel's adapting the 2008 comic storyline Secret Invasion into possibly a Disney Plus
It deserves
show.
that much intensity.
A mother Disney Plus show. Or a movie.
I shouldn't
Or
sit next
both.
to you anymore because I've rubbed off.
Yeah. So the story would involve the Skrulls posing as superheroes, and then it's a plot to take over the world secretly, one hero at a time. So we meet the Skrulls in the MCU in Captain Marvel already, and they also showed up again in Spider-Man Far From Home in that post-credit scene. So I need to hear some rogue theories on how Marvel could set up this plot. Eric's praying that this goes well.
My Skrull god.
I need to hear some rogue theories on how Marvel could set up this plot line in these upcoming releases that are, throughout 2020, and how it's going to play out for the MCU next phase.
Okay, I have an idea. Of course, I have like a billion Skrull different ideas. But as you said, we did see it in the post-credit scene of Spider-Man Far From Home that Nick Fury and Maria Hill were actually the Skrulls, Soren and Talos, posing as them. We saw Nick Fury on the space station with a bunch of Skrulls looking for his shoes. So we've had some theories that we could be looking at Marvel's version of S.W.O.R.D., the peak space station. So S.W.O.R.D. is the offshoot from S.H.I.E.L.D. S.H.I.E.L.D. is now in disarray after being corrupted by Hydra. So now it looks like Nick Fury may be launching a new offshoot version of it called S.W.O.R.D. You have the S.H.I.E.L.D., the S.W.O.R.D., and the S.H.I.E.L.D., right? So S.W.O.R.D.'s goal is to look out for intergalactic and extraterrestrial threats in their relationship to the surface world. So Nick Fury may be heading this up, and spoiler warning for WandaVision, but there were these set photos that looked like S.W.O.R.D. may be introduced in WandaVision. We saw Tiana Paris's character, Monica Rambeau, leaving a building that has the S.W.O.R.D. logo and the acronym S.W.O.R.D. printed on it. So maybe WandaVision will give us another Easter egg hinting at this S.W.O.R.D. operation. So getting back to how it can connect to Secret Invasion, the big twist in Captain Marvel is that the Skrulls, who in the comics are total baddies, who you can't trust, they're nefarious, they're shapeshifters, they're trying to corrupt and infiltrate everything. Actually, the Skrulls we met are pretty good.
Yeah,
they're working
decent.
with Nick Fury
Very
throughout
innocuous.
the years. Yeah, they're refugees and they're helping him out now in Spider-Man Far From Home. So
The Kree have actually been the
Kree are the imperialist assholes. So what if S.W.O.R.D.'s whole objective is to help Nick Fury? They are a spy operation that he can trust. And they're actually, the Secret Invasion is really just CIA type assets that are scattered around the globe, shape-shifting into people that are government figures, spies, people who are just trying to keep the status quo, trying to keep Earth safe, and giving the Skrull refugees a place to thrive and give them a mission where they can work with Nick Fury to keep Earth safe.
Yeah.
But the big threat is that this has leaked. It's gotten out across the world that there are these aliens who are posing. Maybe one of them dies and they shape alien amongst us. Imagine the term Secret Invasion. Doesn't that kind of sound like J. Jonah Jameson's headline on his Daily Bugle website? A secret invasion among our ranks. We have to find these Skrulls amongst us, fellow citizens, and drag them out in the streets so that we can finally be secure from further extraterrestrial threats destroying our way of life.
That's pretty good.
Are you
Yeah.
J. Jonah Jameson?
Or
That J.K. K. Simmons.
The lady in charge of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego or whatever. Like,
Gumshoes.
You gumshoes?
Kinda.
I do like the idea of him just popping up in every Marvel movie with his headlines. Yeah,
Absolutely,
it needs to
yeah.
happen.
Yeah, that's great.
Him and Luis need to just like recap everything. Luis will just do it in his voice. So the whole threat will be kind of similar to what we've seen in certain spy movies, right?
Yeah.
Like a terrorist rogue organization gets their hands on the CIA asset list, and they're going to expose all these people in the field and murder them. But we need these people. We need these assets because they
they're
give us
good guys in
intelligence.
this version.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we got to trust our intelligence sources, and it is a big threat that like nefarious entities will expose FBI agents in the field, CIA agents in the field. That could really destroy a lot of work that like decades and decades of intelligence employees have done to try to keep our world safe. Imagine all the Jack Bauers out in the field, all the terrorist incidents that have been thwarted and prevented. Like, you don't want the public to know who those people are. We just got to trust that they're on the
Plus,
wall keeping us
You
safe.
might also be learning some superhero identities in that also.
Sure,
so
sure.
Little touch back to Civil War.
Absolutely,
As Jack
yeah.
Bauer is a separate conversation. I
It
would
is
love
a-
to have.
a bit
Bauer
problematic,
exists
but
in the
there's,
MCU.
there's a lot of good work that's being done. So Nick Fury's goal in this Secret Invasion series is to try to keep his the Secret Invasion is actually
Yeah.
a good one that we need. Skrulls are implanted around the world, and we want to keep them where they are, and we want to keep them safe because they're refugees, but they're really good at their job, and we
Yeah.
want to keep them safe on Earth so that they can help keep us
So,
safe.
TV show or movie though?
TV show.
TV show.
Because I
Okay.
think week to week, it's going to be interesting to see who's a Skrull, who can you trust.
Yeah, maybe it's there's a little bit of a Homeland vibe there
Yeah.
where,
Yeah.
you know, there's obviously a mystery that is trying to uncover, but also can we really trust each of these Skrulls? And also identifying if you are treating them as refugees, we do have the real world comparison there of that's a lot of fear of taking in refugees is that there might be some bad actors that are sneaking in along with refugees like, hey, we're also here looking for asylum, but actually they're secretly working with some other government or some other planet or thing. What's really cool about your theory, though, is that I'm a big fan of how Marvel keeps being inspired by what it's already done and what's come before. And to me, you just described a very good escalation to the infiltration of S.H.I.E.L.D. by Hydra. Right. And this is like what ruined everything that Nick Fury had built was realizing everyone around him, almost everyone, was secretly a
Yeah.
Hydra agent. So then, of course, he's like, well, you know,
It worked.
yeah, I'm gonna like double down and do even further. I'm gonna replace everyone around the world or tons of people around the world with my version of that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
after S.H.I.E.L.D. let Nick Fury
He's
down.
just insecure now.
So after S.H.I.E.L.D. let Nick Fury down with Hydra, Nick Fury's like, who can I trust? Extraterrestrial
Yeah.
Skrulls who have
Right.
been banished from their homeland. Let's try to keep them safe in the field. And the Secret Invasion is actually something that we need.
Yeah, I
Wow.
love it, Eric. That's 2 Rogies for you
Wow.
right there.
It was good,
Can-
rightfully
Yeah.
so.
Can part of your show be that when they're in trouble, Jack Bauer is the one that saves them?
And it's a little too loose with torture.
Yeah, he tortures them just straight
okay,
up.
all right.
Was that-
There's no time. There's like a beep.
Damn it.
I have one day to finish
Yeah.
this season.
Chloe's an Avenger now. Damn it, Chloe. Great, I love it. Okay, who's next?
I have one related to that.
Go for it.
If
Go
I can,
for it.
only because it is kind of related to Eric's. So my pitch is that Secret Invasion is also a TV show for similar reasons of like. We get to explore who people are, and you can change back and forth over the course of the season. And in a movie, if you change back and forth, by the end, people will be frustrated. It's like, come on, we only have 2 hours to do this. Or if you're Martin Scorsese, 5. So I think, all right, so in the first Captain Marvel movie, we see her chasing a Skrull on a train, right? And that Skrull shapeshifts a bunch of times. She's an old woman.
Love that fight scene.
Yeah, it's great. It's awesome. And
Wish fulfillment for you.
Yeah, oh yeah. How many old ladies have I seen on the bus
that
that I'm like,
homeroom teacher.
oh, take my seat, why don't you?
taking that handicapped seat like an
You just
asshole.
spin that fist in the air.
This is how he fights. Why
Wind it up like a cartoon character.
Knocks himself out.
like Donald Duck, yeah. And she never actually catches that particular Skrull. There's 4
right.
Skrulls and 3 are accounted for, and that one gets away. So I think the Secret Invasion, that in my mind, how we get into it, and it could be a teaser that it is dropped soon, or it's the first moments of the very first episode. We see still that exact sequence of the Skrull running away and escaping from Captain Marvel, and we see where that Skrull goes and what they do, and that Skrull turns back into Maria Hill.
Whoa.
And it's a Skrull that has always been a Skrull.
What?
In other words, Maria Hill is a Skrull forever,
Interesting.
has never been like Maria Hill,
Has
the
never
human,
been not a Skrull.
Interesting.
has
Well,
always been a Skrull
And
the whole time.
we see her be revealed as a Skrull at the end
Right.
of Far From Home, but I did notice that when we see Nick Fury revealed as Talos, then we cut to real Nick
Nick
Fury.
Fury.
Right.
Maria Hill's not there.
Exactly.
Where's
Right.
Maria Hill?
So she has always
She has.
been.
My theory is that she's always been a Skrull.
Okay.
Right, and now this series is just going to be one season until it leads to Captain Marvel 2, because we don't have a release date for that yet. But I'm betting it's going to be not too far away. And it's similar to Erik's storyline in that some Skrulls are good, right? But the basic premise is the same as the comics, which is that there has been an actual invasion by Skrulls. Most of them, or at least let's say half to be fair, are bad, and it's a bad invasion, right? So we're following the Maria Hill Skrull trying to actually have this invasion going on at the same time. She's on the side of good, right? And she's fighting the bad Skrulls. And so season 1 is like we actually learn about the Skrulls. We see their history. We see how they came to Earth, which was actually way before we think it was, before Captain Marvel. And we see the sort of origin story and how the battle has been going on for ages and ages. Season 1 is this battle happening between good Skrulls and bad Skrulls, which shows their complexity as the species, I think.
Sure, yeah.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
No.
Species depth, not just character depth.
I'm into it, and you're right. It does go off of Eric's because Maria Hill in that scenario would be one of Fury's agents that
That's
he's
right.
known has been a Skrull this whole time and is helping protect it. It's so connected to Eric that you do get one rogie. Erik, give her one of your rogies. The two of you together
What
are
if,
stronger.
I love how the rules can bend here.
These
All
are
right,
all
all
listed in the
right.
book. If you
Zero rules.
I
the rule book.
never read the rule book before coming
half
over here.
of my rogue is because I pitched Jack Bauer in his plot line.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
if you want their rogies, just pitch exactly their theories.
Yeah.
I like Marina's take on it because it is truer to the Secret Invasion comics, which is just we do see the darker side of the Skrull people, and there was something good about that. We don't have to change everything for the shows. Like let's just adapt it as it was,
Yeah.
and like we can reveal different Avengers that we know so far as potential Skrulls the whole time.
Yes, not technically an Avenger, but also my theory is that Hank Pym is actually also
Ooh.
a
Whoa.
Skrull.
Whoa!
Wait.
Whoa, whoa.
Eric, you okay? Eric.
You got
You're
twists
having an
on
episode.
twists.
You're having an episode, Eric.
Okay, we're here. We're
Give him more
filming,
Yeah.
filming Rogue Theory.
What
This
year is
where
it?
we're at.
Give him his fix.
1995.
Okay,
Daddy
good.
needs his medicine.
Yeah, it would explain a lot because he basically invents like magic, right? Like
With
he,
pin particles.
yeah, so he could have access to alien technology, and he's like, oh, I invented it. Or,
But
Yeah.
you're the timeline. So in Captain Marvel, that's as far as we know the first appearance of Skrulls, which is set in the 90s.
95, but then
So-
1989 with flashbacks.
Yeah, but we've seen de-age Michael Douglas in general, implying he's been aging along, with the Earth or whatever. So is he? You're saying that Skrulls were there before Captain
before
Marvel?
that, and she
Oh.
just discovered it or whatever.
That is interesting because like the Skrulls have been in this refugee status orbiting Earth for a long period of time. Like Wendy Lawson, right? Like she was working, she was a Creed effector working with them. We
yeah.
don't know how long they were working together
Yeah.
up orbiting around Earth. That could have been as early as the 70s or 60s.
Yeah.
Wait, but also his baby is Wasp.
Yeah, so she's like a quarter, or I mean half Kree.
Wait, so
or I mean
Wasp is
Skrull.
also a Skrull?
Yeah.
Or half Skrull,
She's
half
half
Michelle
Skrull.
Pfeiffer. Hell yeah.
We don't know Michelle Pfeiffer's not a Skrull though. Those
She's her own
cheekbones,
species.
she
I
might
like
be.
not human, half Michelle Pfeiffer.
Well, Michelle Pfeiffer's not human.
yeah, that's true.
It's a kitty cat.
She's a cat. I was just gonna say. Yeah.
Cutie cat.
It's a jellicle.
All right, I'm very happy with my one.
It's a well-deserved one, I think.
I
'Cause it
really
came
like it.
from
You're gonna
Eric.
get a little half one on top of that because of adding
Yay,
the
for my
Skrulls
Hank
were
Pym?
here
Great.
before
Oh, okay.
what we've seen, and they had already infiltrated.
That's right.
That's very interesting. I like it. Joven, I noticed earlier
Your turn.
when Eric said, "Why change the comics?" Your face contorted, and you cringed or something a little bit.
Because here's the thing. You have a good twist in yours. You go from like they're not the bad guys, they're the good guys that have been invading. You've got your good guys are actually Skrulls. But I think that we really need to look at not necessarily what Marvel likes to do, what Disney likes to do.
Okay.
And what we saw with Civil War was a very different reimagination of what Civil War was. And I think that if we're maybe getting something Secret Invasion, it'll be along the same lines. So they're gonna like the element will be there, but it's gonna be overall a very different thing.
Quick reminder to people, just Civil War in the comics is a huge, massive event. There's a lot of characters going underground.
And it's all about having your identities revealed.
Right, the Spider-Man identity reveal happens in Civil War, and it's after his career. He's been doing it for
which
a
leads to
decade
him
at that point.
dying, I think,
Yeah, it does,
actually.
or Aunt May does. But in the movie, obviously, it kind of is like narrowed down to
it's about like the
8
fighting
people
in
or
between
so.
the Avengers.
It's just Zemo turning side against
Yeah.
side.
Right,
So
exactly.
yes, a Civil War of sorts, but not the comic book Civil War. And I think this might upset some fans, but it's kind of what they can do. Is you already have so much happening in the MCU, knowing that we're getting multiverses with Doctor Strange in 2021. Trying to throw in like who's who when you might already have people coming from other dimensions. I think maybe we'll see that happen first. In the Disney Plus side of things, where they're gonna keep that all connected. We know what we're getting from with Captain America or Winter Soldier and Falcon. We know what we're getting with WandaVision. The Loki thing, we don't have a lot of details on, and he's in a
Are
separate.
you sure? Because Eric made a 9-minute video about the 5 seconds of footage.
You know,
We
and
figured it all
I
out.
was impressed. But with him in a separate
Your
timeline,
mustache.
I think he's going to be coming across a lot of characters that we've seen in the MCU, but with his, we'll call it magic, but you know, to the Norse gods, it's just their science. Maybe using the Tesseract and the magic that, or the powers that is embodied in that device, he's actually able to change people in his timelines, change their minds, maybe mind control with whatever he can do, and then start bringing people over to the MCU timeline.
Whoa.
So it's not a Skrull Secret Invasion. It's actually these mind-wiped characters that we've seen and known from the other timeline now being brought into the MCU timeline
Whoa.
via Loki and his magic, making Loki another bad guy to be used in Phase 4.
Now that's a rogue theory.
Interesting.
That's
That
pretty
is
cool.
I
a
went
rogue
rogue,
theory. Here's what's great about that. One of the issues with Skrulls in being an imposter is that obviously they don't have the history of that character, and they also don't exactly have the real strengths of that character. If you pretend to be the Hulk, for instance, you're not
Yeah.
actually as strong as the Hulk if you're a Skrull. But these would be actual versions of that character versus that character. It's everyone's favorite Cap versus Cap fight scene.
Yeah.
And what better
across the
way
board.
to defeat someone who's as strong as Scarlet Witch, but by bringing back her brother who has not yet died in the Loki
my God,
timeline.
that would mess her
Driving
up
her
so
insane.
bad.
So alternate timeline Avengers fighting this Avengers, but
One
those
might
ones,
even call them Dark Avengers.
Whoa, he got there.
It reminds me of DC stories too, where they do that, where the Justice League has encountered other versions of the Justice League before, and they
Yeah,
have
because it's like the Earth 2
there's
versions
and
of
a lot
them.
of times they're actually, you could even introduce this a little bit here and just straight up rip it off. But a lot of times their existence is dependent on destroying this one's existence, and they're kind of like both needing to take out
because
each
their
other.
powers can't exist in the same space, kind of thing. That is a viable.
That you
direction
added that
to
last
go.
part. I'm okay with their powers
okay,
existing in the
yeah.
same space. You are thinking of Time Cop, where you can't. The
Shouldn't
same
we
matter
all be
cannot
thinking
exist
of
in the
Time
same-
Cop at
all
all
times.
times?
Jean-Claude Van Damme across the counters on the kitchen
But, you
with the
know,
leg split.
People
Yes,
have been wanting
all
to
the time.
see
man.
Quicksilver come back, and
Yeah.
and this is a great way,
way
to
to
do
do
it.
it.
Ooh.
It's a great way to bring just other characters that have either died or just give a different take on it.
I love
And have them invade in and kind of like derail.
And I love it
the-
because
That's cool.
we avoid the shapeshifter trope because it's
Yeah.
a little done. And by having alternate versions of them, it's
And
you
it,
get the
again,
same
it
idea.
plays
It's a new
into the
take on it.
multiverse parallel
That's
universes
true.
play also.
Stakes are higher when they're actually those people.
Yeah.
And you know, now, like for instance, you know, imagine Hawkeye from a different reality versus Ronin or something from a different reality. They both still have those families. You don't want either of them to actually
Technically,
die
the
or
Hawkeye
anything.
show, I believe, is coming after the Loki show. So what if
could
the
be a
Hawkeye
different-
in that is actually, maybe that's our golden moment in the Loki series, is we actually see him find Clint Barton, maybe in like around Avengers 1 or Thor 1, and actually
Yeah.
mind control him using the
Spectrum?
using the spear to change to take over his mind, and then bringing him over, and then that's the Hawkeye series that we get.
Also, I'll
Whoa.
just throw out there, there's probably a reality where it was Hawkeye that died on Vormir, and Black Widow
yeah.
survives, and that Black Widow can
There
come
you
over
go.
in your story.
There you go. So
Joven,
we can bring her back.
I love it. You get all of Marina's stack. Rogies. Marina, you get one Rogie back. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take my stack.
Yeah, but that's great. I'm very into. These are some of the better. You guys did your homework this week, and you came with.
You guys are usually
Daddy.
shit, but this
Well,
time.
a lot of times I'm just looking at my watch the whole time, being like, "How did I afford
Stop
this?"
talking.
Yeah, Tommy has to shout louder to wake you back up.
Yeah. All right, give them back to me in a tweet.
Okay, so from the ashes of S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury assembles Sword, a Skrull spy organization.
Yeah, you thought he was gonna do it.
Acronym.
A Skrull wondering
Worldwide
open,
organization.
yeah.
Reconnaissance.
A squirrel?
Squared.
Hers is better.
What?
I did it.
Do it.
I'm not gonna remember. Skrull Worldwide Organization Reconnaissance Division.
Pretty damn good.
A worldwide division.
Can I just have
Okay,
her?
all right.
But it is the full
Let's
galaxy.
use
So
hers.
that makes sense.
You know what? I did it, and that's my tweet.
Yeah, you can't have that. Wait, why do you guys keep sharing all of your
yeah.
We're sharing rogies.
Yeah, it's true.
You cuties.
All
All right, Marina, what's yours?
Oh, why are we skipping? All right. Secret Invasion, Disney Plus series, and then Arrows to
Joven.
to Joven.
Joven
like
emoji.
Like in the text, it's like arrows, and then it's arrows to Maria Hill equals the green face alien, and then more arrows to Captain Marvel 2. That's my tweet.
Just to Captain Marvel, to the words Captain Marvel too. Mm-hmm. All right.
I like the use of emojis.
That's my tweet.
Can you say it one more time?
Me. All right, yeah. Disney Plus does a Skrull Secret Invasion series with good Skrulls versus bad Skrulls, starting with the Lost Skrull in Captain Marvel.
I was hoping you would do it all emojis. Actually,
That was so hard.
it took all her strength. She's like Baby Yoda.
Sounds like the next Indiana Jones though, like Captain Marvel and the Lost Scrolls.
Yeah. Oh, great. That's it.
Oh yeah, the Kingdom of the Crystal Scroll.
That's my tweet. That's my tweet. That's my tweet.
All right, Joven, what do you got?
Loki's causing havoc in an alternate timeline, taking all of your favorite characters and bringing them back. But are they as they were?
Why is that so easy for him?
It's a lot of BS and a lot of fake confidence mushing together into one moment.
He did a good thing where he looked at me on the last word, and it made me instinctively nod. Like now I nod because he's looking at me.
That's true. That's true.
That's how you host anything. Guys, before we talk about, I'm not kidding, we're going to talk about Vision committing really graphic murder. It's a redemption for Vision. Just a quick shout out to some of the cool things that we have going on New Rockstars.
Hey guys, Eric here. Things get pretty bold here on The Big Question, and really, we would love to take YouTube's parental restrictions to the limit, but unfortunately, some films, they're just too violent for us to go into all the great detail on, at least publicly on this channel. So, New Rockstars is now offering monthly bonus videos exclusive to our generous patrons with unlisted links that you can get by becoming a patron of New Rockstars Digital Studios. This month, we broke down the Kingsman church scene frame by frame. Here's a clip of our breakdown.
But then we get another sneak cut on the digital zoom so that we are back to Colin Firth here for the most crucial acting moment of this entire sequence. See, the explosion causes momentary deafness. Harry's ears are ringing and the Freebird music fades down for a moment. And Colin Firth, ever so slightly, shifts from berserk rage to awareness, shock, confusion, horror, because the ringing eardrums have blocked out that SIM card signal. Then the ringing fades away, Freebird comes back, and he slips back into berserk rage.
You can access this plus all the other great bonus videos we've made by becoming a patron today at patreon.com/newrockstars. And thank you to all of our lovely current patrons.
With the release of the Infinity Saga box set, which is freaking $500 and what, like $85
Oh
or
my
something.
All the deleted
Eric
scenes
got
on
two.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Just in case I lose one.
We got a bunch of deleted scenes from the various Marvel movies that were all part of the Infinity Saga, and Eric's been breaking down a bunch of them, and actually they kind of have really interesting implications about where they were going to go with the Infinity Saga, but also storylines that they obviously are like, well, we can still bring that back. So it's really cool stuff there, but one deleted scene made me so happy, and I think it actually fixed a character for Eric.
Yeah.
Because Eric's a hater on this one character, and it's one scene. Vision is having his fight against Corvus Glaive in Infinity War, and it's I think he gets stabbed in the back or something when he gets killed in Infinity War. Corvus Glaive. I think it's like a simple like
he just,
a
He
Loki
uses
style
his
stabbing.
own glaive.
Yeah, and he just his glaive to glaive him. He got glaved, glaving. But in this deleted scene, Vision phase shifts his hands inside of Corvus glaive, grabs his heart. We see it and crushes it, or like tears it apart with his bare hands in there, which is a move that Vision could have done to
This whole
anyone
time.
Yes.
at any point in any fight. Just like, I mean, imagine if he did it to his brain. And he just went in there and he just like made him say words and stuff. So it was such a amazing moment. It's one of the really rare times where a superhero actually used their powers to the fullest extent. I know the characters were deemed a bit for you if that had happened.
Yeah, if he had just done this from the beginning, I'd be like, yes, I can get on board with Vision. But as he is right now, he's just kind of a boring robot.
Well, he's a very moral individual, and that's why he's able
Boring.
to like. He holds the hammer because
He's very moral. But I'm excited for WandaVision because it's like, okay, maybe a good take on Vision. But so far, sorry, Paul Bettany, but I'm happy you died.
Okay, so well, I know that's dark.
Died.
Yeah, Paul Bettany is alive and well. Sorry, Eric.
Don't watch this in 2060.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys stay dark though, and I'm gonna let you guys get into your heads and get all gross about this for a second. If you guys are the kind of people that don't watch an R-rated movie because it has too much violence, maybe this section isn't for you.
Turn off your imagination.
Yes, everyone, turn off your imagination. Okay, I want you guys to pitch me on some potential ways that other Marvel characters could actually fully use their abilities in a way that honestly is probably how it would happen in real life, like on The Boys.
Yeah.
Okay, I think as much as I loved the Infinity War and Endgame films, we did not get to see the full potential of the Infinity Stones and the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yes, very much.
Specifically, ones like the Reality Stone and the Time Stone. They are only used when it's convenient for the plot, but in no other way that if one of us had this, we would go ape shit with one of these things.
Right. The Reality Stone currently is almost exactly as powerful as the villain in Far From Home technology.
It's as powerful as an
funny.
HD projector on fog.
Yeah.
Because that's all it does.
Terrifying, yeah.
It turns someone temporarily into blocks, someone temporarily into ribbons.
But
It
not
makes
really.
the
Yeah.
blaster
but not
bolt
really.
of his gun turn into bubbles, and then as soon as he leaves the scene, I guess he's out of the Wi-Fi signal radius, and it goes back to normal. It is useless.
Yeah.
It is useless. So, but as far as we know in MCU canon, that's as powerful as Reality Stone is. At one point, he does use it to cause the ground beneath Doctor Strange's feet on Titan roll in on itself to kind of drag him in like a carpet that you roll towards someone. You know how when you're fighting someone, you grab the floor,
Yeah, and you're in a
slide it
cartoon.
towards you into your fist. But I think there's something that could be done either with the Reality Stone or the Time Stone specifically, but surgical uses. So I want to see Thanos or someone use the Time Stone either in this reality or another one to disrupt the heartbeat of, because we saw how the focus of the Time Stone can be directed towards an apple.
An apple, right.
Oh,
so
God.
imagine the apple is just a specific organ within someone's body. Use the Time Stone to age up their liver so that it can no longer process bile in your body, and you rot from the inside out, and you get jaundice, and you
And like you don't
die.
know it, so they just are like, oh.
Yeah.
What a slow way to take someone out.
Or just their heartbeat. Our heartbeat needs to have us like people have like
Arrhythmias?
Yeah. So if you just go, they're dead.
Not exactly, but
They cough up blood and
No,
they.
that's science.
yeah, it's Thor magic. What if you just pull it out just a little wider to a person? I do think it's very funny if, like, in a battle, Winter Soldier's running at him and he just aims it at him and he ages him into like this old man,
Like Indiana Jones, like he drinks from the wrong
exactly.
cup.
He just immediately like becomes like a powder person.
He turns into dust, but in a cooler way to turn someone into dust.
my
Or
God.
what if you just age their sperm so they can't have kids?
What does aged sperm do differently?
Watch Palpatine on Rockstars.
Yeah, why is it the tail's like a corkscrew?
Yeah, it gets too tired to work its way
You can't. So I'm like,
up
the
I see
vaginal
the egg.
I'll
Yeah,
get there.
If you
How
were-
about you come to me, Egg? I've been waiting for you for 10 years.
I just think, or you
Cranky.
age just their eyeballs, so
Oh, they can't
just get
see.
worse
so they can't see and they walk off a pier and drown.
What old person did this?
Too many.
Too many. Leading cause of death among the old. Not
They
not
wander
aged.
into traffic.
Aiming
and-
someone at a pier and going.
They're just trying to get a
And
beautiful like
go.
Yeah.
reflection, and they just keep walking.
Yeah, I think there's so much that could be done.
Oh my God.
Just with that, I mean, if you're power of time,
Yeah.
you are God of this universe, and that is the only Infinity
Totally.
Stone. That
Yeah,
you
literally,
need.
they were fighting God, and
Yeah.
instead he made bubbles.
Like he was able that once he destroyed the Mind Stone, he was able to just like turn it back. Like at that point, he should have went for the Time Stone first, because at that
Yeah.
point,
Does
everything else would
everything.
be a
Does
piece of cake.
everything, yeah.
Yeah, that's really great. Oh, also
great.
that'd be really funny if two people are running out and he makes one into an old man and one into a baby,
Yes.
and then he makes them fall in love.
Oh, you can just make everyone a baby.
Thanos turns everyone
Yeah,
into
he makes
babies.
Avengers
baby.
babies.
Oh.
Thanos'
Then we
nanny.
finally get our Disney Plus series. Marvel
Avengers
babies.
babies.
Yeah, it's Muppet Babies. For
Oh,
different.
that's so great. Okay, I like it, Eric. You get Rogi.
Yay.
And then this thing is a little baby Rogi.
Yay,
And
for
then this one we've
babies.
never given out before. It is a gray oldie instead
What
of
a
a
good
Rogi.
use.
What does
silver
that mean?
It means you
quarter?
lose half a point.
So I have to give this back.
They net out
Keep
even.
them
out.
all, but-
Okay, so we can just take a row there.
No, you have
No,
to keep
you
them.
keep them.
Have to
But
keep
does
this.
it mean I keep losing half points every minute that goes by?
Wait, you added that.
I'm confused with the rules of it, but okay.
No, you have to keep this.
That's-
Just put them in a
There we
pile.
go. Okay,
There you go.
cool. So now you're at. It's complicated. You're at 2.
Doesn't understand.
All right. Who's next?
I'll go. I felt very inspired because now also something that you said was about going down the route of the boys, and that kind of took where I was going and
nodding
taking a
'cause
step
you're
further.
looking
Because
at me.
originally I was you nod when I look at you, yeah. Originally I was just gonna go in a very dark place, but I'm like, oh no, we can go to a really messed up place. So
Cool.
if you guys, I think the best interpretation of a villain in the MCU has actually been Purple Man.
Yes, Kilgrave.
Kilgrave was absolutely amazing because I think that is the actual progression of what a normal person who then gets powers, not even normal person, but a person with powers then can become this.
Yeah.
And I think if we look at Doctor Strange as a character, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he gets wizard-like powers. And how would that actually change and evolve his
Yeah.
character? And I think there's a place where he could have actually gone to really just use his powers in a messed up way. And I'm talking about whether he's fighting good guys or bad guys, whatever path he decides to take. He actually finds that's for example, give me any MCU villain.
Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom. All right. He goes and finds Doctor Doom. And then because Doctor Strange has the ability, canonically, to like look into other dimensions and see who's there, now maybe even open portals to other dimensions, pull Doctor Doom's family into this universe. And it's like, Doctor Doom, I see what you're doing. I'm going to kill your family right in front of you.
What?
Oh my God, he's pulling a Jack Bauer move.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
kind of
Jack
thing?
Bauer never threatened people's families. Jack Bauer tied you to upside down, and he electrocuted you with lamp.
You only
cords.
saw what you wanted
Yeah,
to see.
that we know about.
That was
Yeah, exactly. Those were the seasons you saw. They always skip 10 years.
How many
between them.
other unknown terrorist incidents were thwarted
Yeah.
by unknown families being killed?
But
refuse to
again, like
believe
using the boys as kind of like a reference, we see where
Yeah, that's
these
true, though.
heroes will just go to very
Yeah.
dark places to get the job done.
Especially if
it's
it
not
means
part
saving the world.
Yeah, and if it's not part of your specific timeline, maybe like Doom's family is actually still alive, but he's pulling this other Earth 33 family.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like maybe he has a less connection to it. Again, if
He just
has,
kills a different dimensions family.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's just like if he knows an infinite amount of characters,
Yeah.
then it's just another one dying. They die all the time to him.
my
So he
God.
can kill someone in front of Doctor Doom to get them to stop what's
Yeah,
happening.
you know, if he's
Yeah.
seen 14 million different realities or whatever based on using the time stone that way, he kind of is like a little detached.
Yeah,
from
It's like
Totally.
desensitized
Yeah.
towards all
The-
kinds of
the-
things.
Like, oh, you died by tripping on that spear earlier, so like
Yeah.
I've already lost you 14.
He becomes like Rick Sanchez, essentially.
Yeah,
at that
exactly.
point.
So
Interesting.
let's just go to like really, you can mess with the body and you'll die instantaneously. You mess with their head, they're stuck like
man.
that for life.
Yeah,
Oh,
he learned that
God.
with Dormammu, right? Like,
Yeah.
you can kill me as many times as you want. I'm gonna like torture you mentally.
Yeah, interesting.
It's there, like the
It's scary.
floor is already there for him to walk across.
Yeah.
Have you used anything like this in your life? You feel like to get where you are today?
Yes, but I shall not say what those are yet.
Look at
Not
him
till
and
my dying day.
Yeah. If you
look
Now
at him
I'm
and
looking
smile,
at
he'll
you,
let
so
you
now
do
you
it.
nod.
That's fine. We find out next week then.
Yeah.
Great. Your dying day. Cool. Cool. I'm like kind of I don't know. I'm
Scared?
unsettled about it.
You
So I'm gonna
scared?
give you a
Unsettled.
Rogie, but just because
He's scared of you?
I'm giving it to you, and I've always been nice to you.
Yeah.
It's been a good relationship so far.
Yeah.
Pray that I don't have access to other dimensions.
I like you make all your Rogie's face in and stare at you.
Guys, mine's real simple. It's real simple and straightforward.
Hulk punches harder.
Yeah. I mean, basically. It's not these. It's remember in Endgame when the big ol' ship comes and Captain Marvel just like straight up flies through it? Remember that?
Yes,
She
I
just
do.
flies through
yeah,
the
she was
the
fast.
whole,
Yeah.
the whole ass ship. She just flies through it. Basically, she just does that for everything, and
Just
all
flies through
she just
everything.
flies through everything, and everybody else's job is to line up her problems like pins, like bowling pins, and then she just like goes through all of them.
Doctor Strange is opening portals that they're following through, and
Yeah.
she's just flying through
Yeah.
as they're
Yeah.
following.
It's
Yeah,
simple.
just like popping people,
it's
basically.
straightforward. Yeah, she's running into people.
The boys, the beginning of the boys.
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
A-Train.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Marina, Eric, can you remind us the physical dimensions of what happens at the beginning of the boys?
You want us to reenact it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be the girl.
Okay. Move in with me.
Oh, but you're gonna have to take down your stupid Billy Joel posters.
I'll do that.
Blah!
And then I have his hands. Ah! Blood in my mouth. Blood in my mouth. Ah! It's in my eyeballs. It's in my eyeballs. Ah!
She hit her head on the light.
If you haven't seen season 1 of The Boys, you now don't need to. That was all of it.
That's it.
That was all of it.
I like that you guys did not acknowledge the speedster happening at all or hitting
Oh,
them.
yeah,
She
yeah.
just spontaneously explodes.
Yeah,
But that's what it would be like.
That's
Captain
what it looked
Marvel
like.
You should have been the other.
Oh, I didn't want to take
Speedster.
away from your magic.
he was. He just moved so fast.
Yeah,
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 he did.
that's
He
right.
got up and sat back down.
Yeah.
So Captain Marvel just turns everyone into a balloon, and she's a bullet in that
Yeah.
slow-mo footage that
Yeah.
I've seen.
And what's
too
almost
many
even
times.
worse is I don't think she moves as fast as A-Train or the Flash, so it's not like this instantaneous, like, you're just being hit so hard, you're dead.
Yeah.
So then it's just a matter of like in Wanted, how they have to line everyone up perfectly so the bullets go through
Yeah,
them all.
yeah,
So they can do the whipping
Just
of
like,
the bullet.
okay, so here's the IRS guy
Yeah.
who's trying to get you to pay more, and here's your landlord who is like too mean to you,
Yeah.
and here's that scary dog across the street, and here's Dr. Doom, and just run.
Yeah.
All right, Marina, I'm gonna give you. We're gonna speed this up in post. I'm gonna give you this whole stack of Rogies. Help me put it out here.
This seems good, but being on here twice, I now know this might not go as well for her as we hope.
Okay, Marina. And then we'll use the golden Rogie that rarely shows up because it represents when Carol Danvers kicks into high gear. You get as many Rogies as stay standing.
Oh no. Okay. Okay.
On this stack.
Okay, okay.
But you need to hit it as hard
Okay.
with Captain Marvel as you've been talking about. So you can't.
I'm throwing it. Stay up.
Wait, no, I can't trust you. You're just gonna like lightly hit it. Who's her biggest competitor? Eric. All right, Eric. Use
That's right, because he
Captain
took my.
Marvel. Yeah, exactly. She stole from you earlier.
Yeah.
Remember that, Eric.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
You're
So
trying
you're
to
gonna
knock him
hit it as
down.
hard as Carol Danvers would hit it, and whichever ones are still basically in place, she
Then
gets
I
to
get.
keep.
Okay.
Eric, remember our history.
I've seen this happen before. I know physics.
Remember our trust and our friendship. Do I get these
All right.
three?
Yes, you get these
Yeah!
three.
Oh,
I'll just take a bit. I'll take a bit.
Okay,
Yeah. All right.
Yay!
Cool. All right, and they all exploded into
That's fun.
ash. Great. All right, give them back to me in tweets. You disgusting little imaginative tweets.
Wait. I have mine now. Carol Danvers is a bowling ball.
yeah. There you
That's
go.
sweet.
Thanos is going to make your eyes an old man's eyes, so you walk off a cliff.
Yeah. Reply, Eric, you okay?
Yeah.
Doctor Strange pulls from alternate dimensions to kill his enemies' families in front of them.
Oh God. And then also reply, "Hey man, you okay?"
yeah.
I've always been nice to you.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Remember, I've always been nice
We
to
did.
you. Check in on Eric. Great. All right, and let's do right before we go into road questions. Let's do a point total recap.
1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4.
2.5.
I have no idea.
You have 2. Yeah.
So this one makes this one invisible?
Yes.
Sure. That's his
If
power.
that's
Yeah,
what gets you
that's
to
his
2
power.
points,
Yeah.
then yes.
All right, but as we all know, rogue questions can change everything. But Marina is in a far lead right now.
Okay.
She's like Joe Biden, so what could happen? All right, let's see. All right, guys, ready? Rogue
Question.
Movie theaters have changed the name of Birds of Prey to Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, to increase ticket sales somehow. Pitch me on an even more clickbaity version of the title.
Harley Quinn. This time she's in shorts.
She was in shorts last time too, but they got my money anyway.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn, hot girls beating up bad guys.
Yeah.
Arkham doctors hate her. See Harley Quinn's special secret to do your perfect makeup.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a rogie for Eric
great.
right there.
That was good.
'Cause I
That was an
clicked.
actual
Yeah.
clickbait.
I clicked.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. A standard poodle won a standard poodle, not an
Okay,
enhanced.
right.
Won best in show at the Westminster Dog Show this week. Pitch me on what the best dog breed is.
Best dog breed, German Shepherd, and I'll tell you why.
Yep.
Because if you're a little girl, not a little girl, but if you're like a small framed woman like me and you have a big dog like that, nobody fucks with you.
I'm going rogue on this one. Rogue! I'm going to say whatever the dog was from that first Hulk movie. That
The
was
mutant one
Yeah,
or
the
whatever?
mutant dogs.
The one that got punched in the balls?
Yeah, it's a nice dog, but then can Hulk out when you need it to.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
God.
best dog breed is no breed because breeding dogs is cruel and every dog should be mutts and rescues.
That's true. That's true.
But this is true. A German Shepherd saved my mom's life when she was a little girl in Nicaragua.
Wow.
Yeah, so a little one for the little girl that is my mom. You're at 4.5.
Aw, cool.
Now, guys, the Halloween novelty song "Monster Mash" is getting turned into an entire movie musical. Give me your best, maybe like 2 or 3 lines from the hit song from the Monster Mash musical.
Okay. We're monsters, but we're not here to hurt you. All we need is a little understanding.
Okay, no one told me she had musical talent.
I can't
Why would that have
rhyme.
made a difference? You wouldn't have come if I said Marina can sing.
It doesn't rhyme, but it tells you the story.
You should have looked at me and I would have nodded.
Oh, damn it!
Hey, this movie's pretty great, but nobody pay attention to the fact that we did this already with a monster movie bash movie in the 80s, and it was stop motion.
The Moot Mom monster movie mash in the 80s and it was stop motion.
It's a
Moot
doo-wop,
Mom.
one-person doo-wop song.
Yeah.
Those
one
were
person.
added on purpose.
I
Yeah.
nod.
Yeah.
God, it does work.
Just pound her gash. Monster gash. Just
That is-
pound that gash.
The wrong musical.
Monster gash.
Just pound that gash. It's not made of ash. Just pound that gash.
That is 2 rogies for Gash and Slash.
The movie I was thinking of was Mad Monster Party, just so to keep my
That's
my
true.
Joven, no
movie
one
cred.
cares
I
about
said
it.
one person
So
cares.
One person.
One
Monster
person
Squad
cares.
is the only 80s monster movie that
Usually,
is worth talking about.
I'm the one talking about vaginas, but I fully support that song.
Smashing that
Wait,
Gash Slash.
that's not what I said. I was talking about pound that gash. Like, you
don't know what a
Kylo
gash
Ren,
is.
You pound your gash so you don't
When you scrape
feel
your
the
knee.
pain.
Yeah, your
What
gash.
are you guys talking about?
Your gash.
Vaginas.
All right, so let's get point totals.
1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 5.
Yeah, quarter rogie. Great. Joven, what do you got?
I got 2.25.
2.25. Not bad for.
I had a strong lead.
Yeah, you did.
kind of fell apart.
You came out hot, and then you got really into this monster thing at the end there.
I got 5 rogies.
Oh, yeah.
5 rogies. He did know how to count it.
Yeah.
I figured it
Keep
out.
those on there. So Joven, your wish will never come true.
It won't, not today.
Marina had the same wish as Joven. Weirdly. Eric, everyone must scroll shapeshift into a different person. Eric, who are you going to become?
I'll become Joven.
So transform, however that.
I'm Erik Voss, and I know all things about comic books and science. Yeah.
You stupid idiot! You pretended to be Erik Voss, but you made yourself look like Joven.
Yes. I don't get how blocks work.
Why do you look like Joven, Eric? You already looked like Eric.
This is hard.
very
This is
supposed to
this is
pretend
hard
to be
math.
Joven.
This block really just messes me up.
Yeah.
Oh
There you go.
man, I love it. All right, Joven, your turn now.
Obviously, dude, I look at what you're bringing to the table over here, physique-wise. I'm shifting into you.
Yeah. Oh. There's a whole thing down here, guys. Yeah. So now you can only become Eric.
Okay, I'm gonna become Eric.
Ew.
Oh, hey, look, I'm Erik Voss. I stand in front of a blue screen and shout, and then because I make a bunch of nerd references, people like me and aren't as mean to me in the comments.
You can barely open your mouth. It's a heavier mouth.
It's a heavy mouth. It takes a lot of weight to lift this chin up.
The squeal's real. No, I'll become you.
I'm Marina Mastros. My shirts are all so big. I'll never fit in anything right. That's it for this episode of Rogue Theory. Oh my God, I have boobies now.
Me too.
Thanks for going rogue with us. Thanks to our guests, Marina Mastros.
Ooh, I'm Marina.
Joshua Ovenshire.
I get confused.
And Erik Voss.
And I'm Erik Voss.
That's a good impression. Shut up,
Famous
shut up.
catchphrase.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Rogue Theory podcast feed and stay tuned to the YouTube channel for this and other
Philip,
shows.
you can lower your voice.
Okay. This is now me back to normal, Philip, but I'm in Marina's body. Follow us on Twitter at New Rockstars. Follow me at Filup Molina. My shirt is smaller because of my muscles.
We're very sorry, John.
Yay!
Yay!